Alright.
Alright. No. We're
What? LA?
Stop invading my vlog. Get out of here.
Alright. LA. Get out of here. So we have a 14-hour flight ahead of us. So my brother and I are.
13 hours.
It's 14 hours.
14 hours.
So we are looking to get some food and possibly some cheeseburgers along the way. So if we get hungry, we have something to snack on.
We're gonna order like 6 burgers.
Some 6 burgers, some chicken nuggets. People around us will get all jealous because they don't have food and we got cheeseburgers. What's going on, everyone? It's RJ. So I just got back from Japan with my family. It was a 6-day trip, so it was one of the absolute sickest vacations I've actually been on. It's one of the best places I've traveled absolutely thus far, and I've traveled to a lot of places. Japan was 6 days, and so we left on a Sunday and got there Monday night. And so we didn't have too much time Monday night, but we did go and grab some dinner at a very local place after we found our Airbnb. The Airbnb was super awesome. It was actually, I was super scared about it because, you know, the Airbnbs, you just can't tell, especially when you're traveling overseas, you can't tell. Sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, is it gonna be shady? Is it gonna be dirty? Is it not gonna be comfortable? But we got to the Airbnb and it was ultra clean. And it was 3 floors, which was super awesome. So you walked in and you kind of had your main corridor there. It had a room immediately to your left and the bathroom and the showers to the left and right. And then if you walk all the way forward, you'll see the other room. And then if you follow the stairs up, the stairs leads to pretty much the main area. So you have your living room right when you get upstairs. To the right are 2 extra rooms, or I'm sorry, 2 extra beds. And that's where my brother and I stayed. And then the rest of pretty much the living room area. So you have your kitchen, your dining room area, your sink, all up in there. The third part is if you go up the stairs some more, it's actually kind of like a loft. It's pretty cool. It's kind of modern. I can dig it. I dig it. And you go up there and they have 3 extra or 4 extra beds, or I don't know what they officially call that, but they have their beds set up there. So it technically, they said that Airbnb could fit up to 12, but it would have been pretty tight, but it definitely had the room for it. It was awesome. And so we got in, and what we ended up doing was we just ate dinner that night. We walked to a local place. I'm talking super local. It was like a restaurant, a mom and pop restaurant, hidden in the, pretty much in the alleys. It's not even on a main street. And so they didn't speak any English, but what I do recommend if you guys do travel is Google Translate. Definitely check that out because my friend was the one that recommended that to me. And Google Translate, super awesome. It's a lifesaver. So especially you can download it in an offline mode. So it downloads and pulls the entire language. So Japanese, and it was awesome. Speaking of offline mode, brings me to my next point. This Airbnb was super awesome because they included a pocket hotspot or pocket Wi-Fi. And so we always had internet connection wherever we went, which was super cool. So we were able to stay connected. And so we always had that. My brother had the pocket hotspot pretty much in his backpack the entire time. So we had connection at all times, which was super cool as long as you were within the radius of my brother. So back to the restaurant, we ordered ramen. You know, you're in Japan, you have to order ramen, right? And so my parents did more of a tapas style. They ordered a couple little dishes here and there with some fried rice. And it was awesome. It looked like it was run literally by the mom and her son. And they were just absolutely killing it. It was all locals. You can tell we were the only ones that were out-of-towners. But it was so awesome. They were so nice. This is super cool. So if you guys, some of you may be aware, but I own I'm partnered with a business partner, and we own a business that is an urban farm that we sell to local chefs and restaurants. We sell primarily and specialize in microgreens. Look at what we just found. Yo! Backyard Sprouts needs to go international and start selling to these guys. Follow us. Hashtag backyard sprouts at backyard sprouts. So Japan is 13 hours ahead of us. It was morning back where we live, but I was pretty much up till like 1 or 2 a.m. It was really bad. So going into the first day in Japan, our first official day, we woke up, we wanted to go to Shibuya. And we were right off the station of Kekkyu Kamada. Kekkyu Kamada station is where we were. And so the best way to travel around Japan is the train station. Once it looks a little daunting, it looks a little scary at first, but once you get to experience it, once you get used to how their train system works, it's pretty easy. You get to travel around. And worst case scenario, if you're ever scared, they do have an information booth in every train station, and those guys do speak a little bit of English, enough to understand where you're wanting to go. And worst case scenario, even worse from that, you can always just point at where you want to go, right? So let's say we're in Kekkyu Kamada station and we need to go to Shibuya, all you need to do is just tell the person Shibuya, and they will say, okay, train station number 5. And you're like, number 5. I'm like, okay, cool, we're going to train station number 5. Once you learn a train system, it's fairly easy. So first day, we went from Kekkyu Kamada station to Shibuya. And what we wanted to do in Shibuya was check out the very infamous Hachiko, the Hachiko statue. Alright, so first train station.
Get out of my vlog!
Ellie, can you please move over? Holy cow, he's walking right next to me. Jesus Christ. He's talking at the same freaking time I am. Alright, so anyways, we just got out of the train station. It was our first train station experience. We connected to the JR line and then it went straight to Shibuya. So we are now at Shibuya, which is super cool. And the main reason we are here in Shibuya is, if you guys know the story, there is a dog called Hachiko. And Hachiko is right over here. So Hachiko is a dog known for its loyalty. And I'm gonna show you guys right here. If you guys aren't aware of the Hachiko statue, it was built in honor of this dog, an Akita, that is pretty much known for, they made a movie out of it, and I refuse to watch it because Marley and me pretty much destroyed it for me, and I don't feel like crying or bawling my eyes out for movies like that. But I still know the premise of the story. You can Google it, Hachiko in Shibuya, Japan. And pretty much the premise of it, and it is a true story, there was a dog named Hachiko, and every single day he would wait for his owner at the train station. Same time every day, the owner would get out of the train station, be greeted by Hachiko the dog, right? Super, super sweet. But the owner ended up passing away, and Hachiko didn't know that, so Hachiko would go to the train station every single day for 9 years. Sometimes you guys, I don't really think that we deserve dogs. They're just so pure, they're so innocent, they're so loyal. But isn't that crazy? That's crazy! 9 years? Apparently, if you guys are wondering, people did end up, they would leave food and water for Hachiko. He became like a local celebrity in that place, and they tried to rehome him, but he would just run away and just try and find its way back to the train station. So it was very, very sad. He ended up passing away just waiting for his owner there for 9 years. So that's kind of crazy. So we checked out the statue. It was super awesome. I touched it. We took a bunch of pictures. It was very, very heartwarming being around that statue, knowing the history and the story behind the Hachiko statue. After that, we went to try the very infamous, and this is probably one of everyone's highlights of the trip, which was the A5 Wagyu steak. If you guys don't know what that is, it is there. So there's A5 is their rating. It's their highest level rating of meats and steaks out there. So if you guys aren't aware what Wagyu is, it is pretty much just one of the 4 breeds of cattle out there, and it is known for being so tender and so filled and just crazy with marbling, okay? And marbling is just that fat strands in between the meat itself, and it is so crazy. You guys have probably heard of Kobe beef. Kobe beef is specifically just cattle raised specifically in Kobe, Japan, and Wagyu is just the breed of cattle. It's just one of the 4 breeds of cattle. The restaurant we went to is Ginza Steak. And it was, so dinner prices there are normally about $100 per person. And you guys might be thinking, wow, that's quite pricey. It is, there's no getting around that. But if you actually look at some of the prices of Wagyu beef and Wagyu steak, they're actually quite expensive, especially if you start going into the more specific Kobe. But the A5 rated Wagyu, very expensive. I was looking at, we went into the market and I think I saw that one of the steaks, very thin slice of it, you can just see the marbling in it, it's super crazy. It was going for about 12,000 or 1,200 or 1,300 yen. So the US currency there, so for something like 1,200 or 1,300 yen, the US currency exchange rate is about $1 is equivalent to 107 and some change yen, and that's in today's date. Okay, so for a very thin piece of meat that you're looking at right there, that's about $12, $13 already. So the Ginza Steakhouse, $100 per person, is unlimited steak. But we actually got it a sicker deal because we got there during lunchtime. So they have a lunch special which comes out to roughly about $70, $75 per person. So it was a little cheaper. Definitely, you know, we saved ourselves out of 4 of us. There was my brother, my mom, my dad, myself. That would have been $400. So we saved ourselves pretty much $100. And because we're going into cost really quick, I do want to break down the cost of the train stations. If you guys are wondering, each train station, let's say we went to Kekkyu Kamada train station to Shibuya, that was about 200 yen. Okay, so that's roughly about a little under $2, $1 and some change. Now, depending how far you go, the ranges between the tickets is anywhere between $2 to $4. So it's very cheap to go through their public transportation system there. So we went from Kekkyu Kamada to Shibuya to see Hachiko, so that was about 200 yen, and then we went from Shibuya to Shinjuku to go to Ginza Steakhouse, and that was about another 200 yen, and then back home from Shinjuku to Kekkyu Kamada was probably another 200. So traveling is very, very affordable. US dollars, it's about $2. So that day we spent about $6 per person traveling all over Tokyo. So let's go back to the steak. And this I don't know how to explain this through camera, but it won't do any justice, nor will the words I'm saying do any justice. But what ends up happening is it kind of looks like if you guys have been to a hibachi place where they have the chef cook in front of you guys and chop up the beef, and you guys are all around the cooking area, seated around the cooking area. It's very similar to that. So you have your own personal chef. The Ginza Steakhouse, by the way, was very, very small. They only had 2 tables, but each table sat 6. It was about 8 to 10, so it could only fit 20 people. So we got there ultra early. We got there right at opening, which was 10:30, and we got our personal chef. What ends up happening is he cooks 2 appetizers for you, and after that, it's pretty much what's called chef's selection or chef's choice. So he just brings out different cuts of A5 Wagyu, and guys, the flavor is unmatched, unrivaled, and you don't have to take my word for it. Just watch several videos out there of people trying A5 Wagyu beef for the first time. And he just used a little bit of oil, some salt, some pepper. He used a little bit of butter on top, and that's it. He served it medium rare, probably rare to medium rare. And it just literally melted in your mouth. That's how crazy that steak was. And so he brought out different cuts, and I want to say we ended up, and remember, it's unlimited, so he keeps going. There is a caveat to this. So at lunchtime, you're only allotted an hour and a half. So you have an hour and a half to continue eating as fast as you can, and then they cut you off, right? So you can't just stay there for like 3 hours eating steak and giving yourself a rest. So just know that. Things to keep in mind, right? So we probably went through maybe 6 or 7 rounds of that. So he cuts you a piece of steak, and then he cooks it, and then he gives it to you, and then he kind of just waits, and he's very patient until he gauges the table, how they're doing, and as soon as they start finishing up maybe their last couple pieces, he starts putting on the new cuts of meat on the grill. Guys, this is one of the things you definitely need to experience, is going there and trying a good rated restaurant that serves A5 Wagyu beef. Okay, that's all I need to say. That is, I can sit here and just drool in front of you and it still won't do any justice. Okay, so definitely check that out. After that, we kind of split. My parents, I believe, went home. They were feeling pretty tired. My brother, you know, pushed me a little bit. Thank you, little brother, because I was feeling a little tired too. But he's like, I want to be a tourist. I was like, okay, let's be a tourist. And you know, being in another country, you can call me a little overprotective, but I just wanted to make sure he was fine and be around him, right? So I was like, okay, let's go. And so he wanted to go to the Pokemon store, and so I was like, all right, let's check out this Pokemon store. So we had to take another train. All right, I was looking for...
I am not supported.
I was looking for some sort of coconut water. Couldn't find anything, so I have this.
This is legit. Yo, this is so good.
One is being brave. I have no idea what this
My brother was
is.
looking for coconut water and he found this milk substance. He found some milk shit. Is it good?
I don't know what it is.
Does it taste like jizz?
Yo, Alex, taste this.
Let me get a hit of this.
Taste this, please.
Let me get
Tell me what this is.
So my brother was looking for coconut water. First of all, I don't even like coconut water.
It's not coconut water.
Apparently this is not coconut water. We thought it would be. It was too dense to look like coconut water. I know what this is.
What is it?
Dude, do you remember the tiny little, like, they're like plastic caps?
What's
They're
this? What's this?
They're maybe like a quarter size of this, and they have like a tinfoil cap on them. It's like a milk sugar treat thing. Why'd you put my cap downwards like that on the fucking cement?
I'm gonna try my brother's Pocari
This guy. He's gonna try the
Sweat.
Pocari Sweat. Dude, the Pocari Sweat's legit.
Ion Supply drink is a healthy beverage that smoothly supplies the lost
Alright.
water and electrolytes during perspiration.
I don't want to be mistaken for the guy that left this here, because I did not leave that
With the
there.
appropriate density and electrolytes close to that of the human body,
Legit
it can
drinks,
be
though.
easily absorbed into
For
the
being
body.
brave, let's drink Pocari Sweat. Is it legit? That's refreshing. That's
What are these flavors?
Dude.
What are these flavors that's
It's-
happening right
it's
now?
literally propelled. It's just better propelled. Tell me.
Okay, yeah. This is pretty legit.
That's legit.
This is pretty legit.
This is a kid's drink.
I'm not liking mine.
I swear to God, this is a kid's drink.
I'm not liking mine at all.
all right. I'm gonna edit this in post, but I'm gonna put a picture of these little tiny milkshakes.
Not liking mine at all. I might get some.
It's not bad.
I might get some of this Bacardi Sweat.
Bacardi Sweat. He's gonna get some Bacardi Sweat. When
We got to the Pokemon store. It was inside the mall, and I'm not gonna lie, it was pretty cool. And so you got there and you see a whole bunch of different people. That place was packed for it was a Tuesday. It was Tuesday. So it was packed on a Tuesday during the day. Like, these people don't have lives. They don't have jobs or school or anything. But it was packed. There was a lot of people in there. And so my brother and I were 100% kids. We summoned our inner child and we went ahead and started shopping and doing crazy things. My brother went ballistic and spent who knows how much money he spent on gifts and fluffy Pokemon toys. I got a couple of these super shiny folders that are actually super cool because it says specifically for sale only in Japan. And so I'm going to give a couple of those to my friends. And so after the Pokemon store, we pretty much was pretty beat. So we took the train ride back to our Airbnb and pretty much called it a night. What's crazy is we didn't eat dinner, okay, that night, and we ended up just eating once, which is crazy. We just ate the steak and we just passed out for the rest of the night. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video because there are more to come, a lot more to come. This was a 6-day trip and this was only our Monday night and Tuesday, okay? We have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday left. So Wednesday, which will be in the next video, in the next episode, this is where we went and checked out the Samurai Museum and also had some official legit sushi. So stay tuned for that. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys haven't already, please hit that like and subscribe button because I actually do really enjoy just making these videos for you guys. So if you guys have any questions, just post them in the comments section below. Until then, I will see you guys next time.